Welcome to the Pandemonium Witches podcast, where the ADHD has just a touch of autism, where the true crime is as scary as the hauntings and unsolved cases. But the hosts never stay on topic for long. I'm Kat.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Em.
And I'm Meg.
Keep your arms, legs, and other extremities in the vehicle at all times, and enjoy the show.
It's a stained glass witch hat chandelier.
Oh, I think I got that one right. I thought you were going to tell me it was like cryptids are us.
Right. I'd be fine with that because, I mean, that's what we're doing this month. But, you know.
I'm going to send it to
the group chat.
Yeah, give me a second. It's ending.
Oh, I like that.
Right?
Oh my God,
just like, that's
so
pretty.
Stop.
Right.
Oh, Meg, also, by the way, it's Josh's birthday in like not 3 weeks, like roughly around 3 weeks. He has to go out into the field. He told me, and I quote, "You are not allowed to buy presents for me." He said nothing about everybody else.
There you go. It's the 9th, October 9th, right?
Yeah, October 9th.
My sister's, well, I guess my brother-in-law, his is the 10th. Oh, and I didn't tell you, I want to get like one of those steam saunas because like health and wellness, right? But they have them like little pop-up ones on Amazon. And I was like,
what in the flittering fuck happened? I was trying
Not
to
a clue.
open something and then my computer just went, how about fuck you?
No thanks.
I was like, Jesus Christ, I opened something and then my computer just said, fuck off.
well, welcome back.
So you were saying you wanted to get one of those sauna things.
Oh, yeah, but my brother-in-law and my sister apparently have an infrared sauna that they have in their house. And they're getting ready. They were going to put it in storage. They're getting ready to sell their house and move to Montana.
Oh.
And they're going to build a house out there.
Choice.
Yep. So they travel for work. So it doesn't matter where they are. So they want land and they want to build their own home and they want to do it out where there's space. So that's where they're going. And yeah. And so my sister's like, "Do you just want the sauna?" And I was like, "Well, yes, I do."
Yes.
So yes, they are being very super kind, and your girl's gonna sweat out her bullshit.
Hell yeah, love that.
That's the
a
plan.
lot of sweating,
right? I mean, that's why it's gonna be here and just set up all the time because your girl's gonna need to use it often.
I found one of those sauna things. The little Japanese
little poppy ones, right?
Yeah,
the ones that go. Yep.
I found one. You just plug it into the wall. You stick, I think it's like a gallon of water in there, and it's just like you stick your head in it, and then it inflates, and it's a sauna. I wanted to
That's what I was looking at. I want to do that. I want to do the ice bath one.
Yeah.
So I could do one to the other. But we're slowly working on it. We've gone on a health journey. So it's been an interesting 10 days. I'm now intermittent fasting.
Oh!
And have had, so I've been doing it for, I think I have 10 fasts. I think I'm on my 10th. Today was my 10th. And I'm fasting for between 17 and 18 hours. So it's been very interesting.
I typically fast from 7 p.m. until 11.
Yep. You're 16, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So it's
something like that.
Yeah. So, Josh is like, I want to do fasting. And I was like, for your work, you can't, because you can't drink anything, right? With fasting, you're not supposed to.
You can have black tea, or you can have tea, you can have water, you can have coffee, anything that doesn't take you out of ketosis. So in the morning, I have green tea. And if you want to put like a sweetener in it, like a monk fruit sweetener doesn't take you out of ketosis. So I will do that in the morning. And then I usually eat around 12 or 1. So I fast from about 7 p.m. until 12 or 1. Yeah. And I am finding that I'm not craving sugar, which I think is my biggest problem, is that I've always I'm a girl who's going to walk into the pantry and grab a single marshmallow and eat it just because. I'm not doing that anymore. So the marshmallows are safe.
Right. I mean, we have a bag of marshmallows.
I mean, same.
I like
Same. They're great for sore throats.
They
So
are.
if you've got like, especially for the kids, like, because my kids are not like, I'm gonna have a spoonful of honey. None of them are that sweet, but they'll throw down a marshmallow.
Okay, are we ready?
Yes. I don't know, but yes. Should I?
I've never
Okay.
been ready.
Do I need to
ready, Meg?
prepare?
No, I've never been ready.
Okay.
I stay in a state of unreadiness for this place.
Okay, that's probably a good thing.
Great.
All right, so we're going to talk about Selkies.
Woo!
Weirdly, I forgot that in the 30 minutes between the last time you said it and right now. And I'm still not excited. Like excited, but also not excited.
All right, so their grouping is mythological.
Mhm.
They are an entity all over by themselves.
All by myself.
Similar entities are mermaids, merfolk, Huldra, sirens, and Udine.
So they're in the same group as sirens.
Kind of.
Okay.
They're water sirens, therefore we'll just call them bubbles from here on out.
So they can be confused with other seal-like creatures like finfolk, merfolk.
Finfolk?
Okay.
Finfolk.
Finfolk. F-O-L-K.
So like sirens, merfolk.
Finfolk.
Selkies used for the shapeshifters to distinguish them from merfolk. And their habitat is water.
Great. So they're not like contained to one area. We're just going to take up 86% of the planet or whatever the fuck it is these days.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Great. Thank you.
So they are creatures that can shapeshift between a seal and a human by removing or putting on their seal skin.
Like our last episode?
Kind of, but they're adorable little seals, and then they, can shapeshift and go onto land and as humans.
Nah, it was that one who pulled that little girl off the dock where it came up and it was like boop and like grabbed her and pulled her in because it was playing or whatever. That wasn't a seal. That was a Selkie.
That was that was the parents were not doing their job. Because they are wild animals, do not get close to them.
Hold on. Was this like an actual animal that happened?
Yeah, they were on a dock and everything, and the parents just let their kid, while filming, just wander up to this gigantic, I think it was a sea lion.
No.
And wild animal, and the sea lion just went, and the child.
Okay, if it's like in Santa Cruz or San Francisco Bay, there are 3 things you do not touch.
California.
No, those are sea lions. No ma'am. You learned that from an early age.
It was this huge thing.
Yeah, that's a sea lion. And that,
and then their child gets, yoinked by the sea lion, and all of a sudden they just start screaming. And the filming ends, and I'm just like, what do you think was going to happen? It was not going to let you touch it.
Cue MC Hammer. Don't touch this. Do.
Right. Anyways, so from the Selkies are prominently in oral traditions and mythology of various, but especially the Celtic and Nordic origins.
Say that one more time because you flipped out.
Damn it. My fucking internet. That's a rant. So they're prominently, this word always gets oral traditions and mythology of various cultures, but specifically of Celtic and Nordic origins.
Okay.
Selkie is derived from the Scottish word for seal, but is also spelled Kies, or Sylkies, or Selchies.
So they went to kindergarten and said, spell this word, and then they took everything and went, you got it, kid. Everybody got a participation award.
You get a letter, and you get a letter.
Yeah.
We're missing a Q, but fine.
So Selkie is a small form of Selch, Selch, which means gray seal.
We'll allow it, I guess.
So they are sometimes referred to as the Selkie folk, which means, seal folk.
Right.
The seal people. So they are mainly associated with the Northern Islands of Scotland, mostly Shetland and Orkney Islands. There are counterparts in other cultures for the Faroese, the where the Icelandic writers sometimes refer to them as seal wives of merfolk. The Irish, and then the Manx, which is the Island of Man.
Okay.
And the dialect Finns, Finns, is the name for dwellers of the sea who can remove their seal skin and transform into humans, supposedly.
Why is there so much removing of skin? What do we have against skin? That's 7 layers of necessity.
I'm sorry, Meg, but your epidermis is showing. You're going to have to remove that.
My epidermis is always showing. There's a lot of epidermis here to go around. Why are we sharing it with other things?
So in Gaelic stories, specific terms for Selkies are not always used and are seldom differentiated from mermaids. So they kind of blended the two.
Cross between. Okay.
They said, we have enough names for beer. We are going to just choose one for things that swim and look like seals.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
So they are said to live as seals in the sea, but shed their skin to become human on land. And that's basically the little bit of it. Anyway, so the Orkney lore is that the Selkies are said to be the larger in size seals than the gray seals. So like the Greenland seal, which is also known as the harp seal, and the crested seal, which is the hooded seal. And these are the seals that are said to be able to shed their skin and change into humans. But apparently they also have a dual nature. The Selkies do.
Okay.
They can be friendly and helpful to humans, or they can be dangerous and vengeful.
So they're like
so
sprites.
You never know which ones.
They have space for like one emotion at a time.
Right.
Pretty much.
If she got up on the wrong side of the wave bed, you're having a rough time. Fair.
You never know. They are often depicted as being very attractive and seductive while in human form.
Oh, so I'm a Selkie.
Yes.
Naturally. I'm just kidding.
Yes!
There are many different stories. There are many different stories involving them having romantic or sexual relationships with humans, which sometimes resulted in children.
I mean, I do have children, but
you do.
Also not me. I'm still ticking the boxes here so far. So far, so good.
They can be coerced or tricked into marrying the humans, but that means that the human has to steal their seal skin and hide it from them, thus resulting in them not being able to go back to the sea.
I'm sorry?
We're still on track. We're still on track.
You gotta steal their skin.
Just the seal skin portion.
Just the seal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's like you know, just taking
because
off
they
one
take
suit.
it off like a coat.
Oh,
it's like a fucking onesie. Like you went from sloth onesie to like hi
to human onesie. Got it.
So
you know, sloth
this
onesie
coat,
that,
like
naked,
and they
rat.
turn to a human.
Thanks. I hate it.
Part of your work.
But these marriages were often to be unhappy as the for the sea, and will escape once they find their skin. They would just ditch and leave everything behind once they find that skin and dip out. Children,
nice wording.
Life,
dip out.
everything.
Fuck this shit. I quit.
Relatable.
So, the typical tale of the Selkie is that, TLDR, man falls in love with mysterious woman on the beach, learns she is a Selkie, steal her skin, and convinces her to marry him, as in, like, you're gonna marry me because I have your skin.
That's a crime.
So, she'll end up marrying him because he has her skin. but longs for the sea and is unhappy in the home. Well, ends up giving the man children because, marital rape is a thing, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But whole time still longing for the sea. But once she may even encourage the children to help her find the skin. And at which point, because the children don't know what they're looking for, they just know that,
spring cleaning.
Mommy wants this. So we're going to help her try and find it.
Mm-hmm.
And once she finds it, she will usually kiss the children goodbye, grab the skin, book out, and never to return.
So she went to get milk.
Children's versions, because of course, yeah. And of course, there are children's versions of this story. The Selkie revisits her family on land once a year, but in the typical tale, she never sees them again.
That does sound terrible, though. Just not good.
Meg said she's the one that went to go get them.
Oh, yeah.
And oh, man.
She lost it.
I'm just an equal opportunity sharer here. That's all. I hate everyone equally.
Oh, man.
There's another version where she's never to be seen again in human form, but she watches her children from the water in her seal form.
That's a little nicer. Sad, but nicer.
Yeah. Are you okay?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry, the dog just jumped on me. I forgot he was here.
Surprise!
Oh my god, we're talking about scary things. I'm about pissed myself. And now he's scared. I'm so sorry.
Tank!
Oh my god. Oh,
poor
god.
baby.
Poor Tank. Are you
okay? Tank, poor me. That dipshit shouldn't have done that.
Are you okay, Meg?
Are your ears okay? Oh my god, I screamed so loud.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, man.
Oh, god. Kat, I apologize for whatever you have to just edit because, oh my god.
I'm
terrifying.
leaving that shit in. Let me tell you, most of the time, when you're on here, the unhinged bullshit, I leave it all.
My headphones are very noise canceling, apparently. All right, I'm so sorry. Back to the Selkies who just watch their children from the sea because that's a great thing to do.
So the children will witness a large seal that would approach them and greet them, or watch them from the water to make sure nothing happens to them.
Oh, maybe that seal that we talked about earlier, like that was her kid, and she was like, "Bitch, your dad is an asshole. Like, you coming with me? Figure out how to breathe underwater."
So Selkies are not always female, though. There are male Selkies, because of course there are.
Right.
And I suppose, in parentheses, I was like, or at least male presenting. I do not know, as I have never seen one. I really want to, though.
You want to meet a
Selkie?
Introduce.
Yeah, because how cool could that be?
Okay, so there are two options, all right? One,
I'm not going to steal its skin.
One, they could kill you, all right?
I mean...
All right, whatever.
I mean, it's a 50-50
you're the
shot.
one that wants to pet, so I mean...
I'm the one that wants to what?
Pet a bear.
Well, yes, because they're fluffy. I also want to pet a capybara,
but...
fluffy
too.
True.
Best favorite animal.
Fur.
I want to pet lots of fur,
so they're fluffy.
Yes.
We should get you hired at a zoo.
Okay, to be fair, I also want to pet cows, but apparently I can't do that.
You can come to my house. I'll let you pet a cow.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a cow?
No, but I know some. Oh.
I was waiting for the rest of it.
Yeah, fun fact. I was taking my son to daycare one day, and there were cows in the middle of the highway because somebody had left the gate open to the farm on the side, and so I on a 2-lane highway, on Route 15.
Oh shit!
Which is it's like a 55-mile-an-hour 2-lane highway. I pulled my car to the side and I got out of my car and I ushered the cows back into their pen. There were like 4 of them in the middle of the road, and I ushered them back into the pen and like tied the door shut with a chain that I found and like tried to call the farm and was like, "Hi, I actually have a picture of me. I took a selfie with the cows." Because like, why wouldn't you? I was actually on the phone with Mike when I was doing that, and he was like, "Oh my God, take a picture." And I was like, "I did." So, and also that was when I generally was like, "Do cows attack?" I guess we're gonna find out. Like,
I mean, they can, but
right. So we put the cows back in, and some lady drove up, and she was like, "Do you need help?" And I was like, "I don't know what I'm doing. If you have a better option." And she was like, "No, I was just asking. I'm not getting out." And I was like, "Okay, great."
I was just doing the right thing and asking. I wasn't
right.
I was like, "These are not my cows." And she was like, "No, I didn't. You don't really look like a cow person." And I was like, thanks.
I love cows. Josh will drive out of his way just so I can see cows. Nobody. Okay. Emily has heard me do this. Rachel's heard me do this. Okay. So, you know how Emily had that like really deep voice earlier? So I'll go, cow! Moo!
Okay, never mind. I'm not taking you with me. You can, I'll give you the address and you can arrive. Get that out of your system before we go.
I'll just yell out, coo!
I love cow.
Scottish word for cow.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to you wanting to meet yourself a Selkie.
Yes.
And, we were on male Selkies.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
So they're described as being very beautiful in human form. The females have seductive power over human men. Men have powers over human women. I mean, or, men with men, female with females. We don't judge.
No, we don't.
Silk yourself.
So the men typically seek the human women who are dissatisfied with their lives, like wives waiting for their fisherman husbands to return. So,
Oh, so we prey it on people.
Praying
and praying.
Sounds like it.
I mean, someone's going to be on their knees.
Oh! Wow!
That was outside.
Your outside voice.
It did. The door was held for you. Quite frankly, you can't just. Yes. It's rude not to walk through.
Right.
It was just.
Anyways, so there's a version of a story, or of a person in Orkney of a Ursula, in quotation marks, because they gave her a random name. Mm-hmm. Who was rumored to want to make contact with her male Selkie and would shed 7 tears into the sea. Like, that is a lot of tears. Also, to be able to cry in command? What is that power?
Trauma.
It's called acting.
But, like, exactly 7 tears, though. Like, that is very specific.
She's just like a human doTERRA bottle. Like, you can count those suckers.
A 1, a 2, a 3.
Also, like, did she like collect them beforehand, or just like have to like just cry on command? Like,
can you imagine having to find you have to find your tear bottle every single time? No, she's just raw crying right there.
She's just raw dogging crying, man.
Raw dog in the tears.
Anyways, so like I mentioned earlier, children can be born from Selkie and human intercourse. Let's go with that. So they can be born with webbed hands, like more than the normal little webs that, where the fingers meet.
Yes.
Okay.
More than that, like majority of the hands. So they actually have like webbed hands and feet. There's a tale of a Shetland mermaid whose children had a sort of web between their fingers.
Oh.
All right.
Ursula, before mentioned,
right,
is rumored to have had children by a male Selkie who had said webbing between their fingers and toes, and she would clip away the horny material intermittently so the children could pass in the village.
Man,
so it didn't hurt,
right?
Mm-hmm. But it would grow back, so she had to keep doing it.
Oh,
that's a skill you teach early on, if that's the case.
Right.
Either you accept yourself as you are, or you are going to maintain your own webbing.
Right. So some legends say that Selkies can only shed their skin when the conditions of the tides are just right or correct. but oral storytellers disagree as to the time interval. So Ursula, she pops up frequently. I don't know if it's the same Ursula or different ones, but that's the name that it was.
God, I hope
frequent.
it's the same. I hope it's just one bitch walking around fucking things up for everybody.
Right?
Right.
And she's like, my 7 tears go here, my 7 tears go here. This is my Webby child.
Right. Anyway, so she was promised by her mystery male Selkie that he would visit her at the 7th stream or springtide.
Okay.
In the ballad The Great Selkie of Sul Scary, the seal husband promised to return in 7 years. The number 7 was commonplace in the ballad. It popped up everywhere.
Well, in over in Ireland and Scotland and England, 7 was considered a very, very, very lucky number.
Yes.
So.
In one version, the Selkie could only shed their skin and become human once every 7 years because they are bodies that house condemned souls.
That went dark real fast.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Maybe I am a Selkie.
I mean,
right?
You're not condemned. You're just slightly sinful.
I'm not condemned yet.
Yet.
There's also the notion that they are either humans who had committed sinful wrongdoing or were fallen angels.
Damn it!
I've been trying to tell you this whole time. No one's listening to me. This is my confession tape.
Okay, Brittany, bitch. Shit.
I haven't shaved my head yet. We're not there.
Aw, I do understand.
I mean, I have.
Same.
Not my whole head, but just 2/3 of it.
Fun.
I've shaved my whole head, but that's a different story for another day.
Right. There was a version of the Selkie wife tale on practically every island of Orkney. A goodman of Wastness, who was a confirmed bachelor, fell in love with a damsel among the Selkie folk, whose skin he captures. She searches the house in his absence and finds her seal skin thanks to her youngest daughter, who had once seen it being hidden under the roof.
There we go. Just like you said. You mentioned this earlier.
Yeah. The husband locked away the seal skin in a sea kisk, a chest, and hid the key, but the seal woman is said to have acquiesced to the concealment, saying it was better to keep her Selkie days out of her mind. However, when she discovered her skin, she departed hastily, leaving her clothes all scattered about. Basically,
she said
she grabbed it and dipped.
Right, and she was like, you've been leaving your clothes next to the hamper for way too many years. I'm fucking out. She was like, and you can clean up my clothes.
There was a fisherman named Alec, supposedly, who gained a wife by stealing the sealskin of a Selkie in a tale told by a Orkney skipper.
Like, what was that show? Gilligan's
Island?
That skipper?
Kind of. 3-hour tour that turned into several years.
Right? And we can make a whole bunch of shit, but not a boat. Sorry, keep going.
Right.
It was a whole island of Selkies.
So over on the Shetland Islands, there was a version of the tale about the mermaid compelled to become wife to a human who steals her sealskin, localized in UNST. That was published by Samuel Hebert in 1822. She already had a husband of her own in her own kind.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Unless this is an open Selkie relationship, we are breaking some rules here.
Polygamy?
We are breaking some rules. Also, why are all of these men finding Selkie women? There are plenty of humans. Because when they said there are many fish in the sea, they didn't mean actually.
Right. So there are some stories from Shetland that have Selkies luring islanders into the sea at midsummer, and the lovelorn humans never returning to dry land. A little bit of siren-esque.
Yeah, that
feels there.
We're crossing stories at this point. We're just
we're
dabbling a little in some different lore dabblers.
Also in Shetland, the sea folk were believed to revert to human shape and breathe air in the atmosphere in the submarine homeland. But with their sea dress, their sealskin, they had the ability to transform into seals to make transit from there to the reefs above the sea. However, each skin was unique and irreplaceable. So once it got stolen, you're shit out of luck. You got to find that skin.
Right? You got to get yours. That is your fingerprint. That is your seal.
Right.
Sea skin? Slip skin. I can't.
Seal skin.
Yes.
Time in.
Okay.
Okay. Do I have to repeat everything?
No. I had you.
Seal voices.
I was still able to hear you, so sorry. I got a phone call in the middle of that. My husband's at work, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. I couldn't say seal skin anyways. Sea skin. I was calling it sea skin. Yeah, it's fine. We're good to move on because that was...
So, back to the island of Shetland.
Seashells by Shetland.
Shetland
so,
ponies?
In the tale of Geoga's son, a group of seals resting in the Viscaries was ambushed and skinned by Papa Stow fishermen. But as these were actually seal folk, the spilling of the blood caused a surge in seawater and one fisherman was left abandoned. The seal folk victims recovered in human-like form, but laminated the loss of their skin, without which they could not return to their submarine home. Oliventinus was particularly distressed since he was now separated from his wife. However, his mother, Geoga, struck a bargain with the abandoned seamen, offering to carry him back to Papa Stow on condition the skin would be returned. In a different telling of the same plotline, the stranded man is named Herman Park, while rescuing the Selkies' name is unidentified. So tales of seal brides have been associated with the number ML4080 under Reader Thoralf Christensen. System of classification of migratory folk tales. These tales are recognized to be of the Swan Maiden motif type. For those that don't know, the Swan Maiden story is a name in the folklores used to reference to three different kinds of stories. Those where one of the characters is a bird maiden, in which she can appear either as a bird or as a woman. Those in which one of the elements of the narrative is the theft of the feather robe belonging to a bird maiden. Though it is not the most important theme in the story. And finally, the most commonly referred to motive, and also the most archaic in origin, those stories in which the main theme among several motifs is that of a man who finds a bird maiden bathing, steals her feathered robe, which leads to him becoming married to said bird maiden, and later the maiden recovers the robe and flies away, returning to the sky, and the man seeks her out again.
One if by land, two if by sea. No, thank you.
Like that.
No.
There are now hundreds of seal bride type tales that can be found from Ireland to Iceland. Hundreds. And only one was found in Norway by Christensen.
That's so many water brides.
Right.
Water bugs.
No, these aren't cockroaches.
No,
they seem a lot prettier than cockroaches, really.
Yeah.
I will tell you, this story is less creepy than Jean's. So
You're welcome.
We can do Selkies anytime. You get to be my favorite today. Kat, I love you. But Rachel is my favorite today.
No!
Look, I am sweating so much less during this story.
You're welcome.
The last story, I will tell you, oh my God.
There's a corresponding creature of the seal shapeshifter that exists in Swedish legend, and the Chinook people of North America also have a tale of a boy who shifts into a seal.
He shits a seal?
The children.
She changes into a seal.
I thought he shat a sheep.
She had a shield.
Lots of S's.
Shield shooting.
In the Faroe Islands, there are beliefs in the seal folk and of the seal women. And the Icelandic folk tales, there's a folk tale called, I'm not going to pronounce the Icelandic word for it, but the translation is The Seal Skin, which is published by John Arneson, which offers an Icelandic analog of the Selkie folk tale. Basically, the tale relates how a man from Murdalore forced a woman transformed from a seal to marry him after taking possession of her seal skin. She discovers the key to the chest in her husband's usual clothes when he dresses up for a Christmas outing, and the seal woman is reunited with the male seal who was her betrothed partner.
Oh,
so she had somebody else waiting for her.
Right. He straight up like stole her, like,
yeah.
That's not good.
Just a waving of the kids. Hurry up, get in here. Another such tale was of these seal folk were sea-dwelling elves called Marmenlar.
No, they're called selves. Sea elves. Selves.
Which basically translate to mermen and mermaids. And this tale is of a man who comes across the dancing and celebrating of elves within a cave by the ocean. The cave is lined with the seal skins of the dancing elves, and as the elves take notice of the man, they rush back to don their skins and dive back into the ocean to escape. However, the man is able to steal the smallest of the skins, sliding it underneath his clothes, which is very creepy. The owner of the skin tries to retrieve her skin from the man, but he quickly takes hold of the young elf and takes her home to be his wife. Like, guys, that's kidnapping. Please don't do that.
How young are we talking, child self? Like,
I don't know.
If you hit it under your clothes, that's small.
Right. But also, we don't know how, like, if it stays like this massive shape when they take it off. So, like, there's lots of variables that are unanswered.
Maybe it's like one of those, remember those little crinkle shirts when we were younger in the late 1900s where you, like, you pulled it out and it, like, I never got to wear them.
What? Crinkle shirts? Like chips?
No, those are ruffles.
Is this another thing that I did not know about?
Apparently.
Okay.
It was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And like you could unfold it and like it started off as this like little doll-sized shirt and somehow it was supposed to fit your whole body. It's like the equivalent of the bodysuits nowadays.
Oh! It was supposedly a one-size-fits-all.
What?
It was a lie. Like most things.
I mean,
one
most
size
things
fit all of one boob.
Right, seriously. Most things that are one size fits all fits like my left thigh.
Yeah. Anyways, so the man and the elf are together for 2 years and producing 2 children, a boy and a girl. But the elf harbored no love for the man, and during this time, the former elf woman's elf husband swims along the shore by the couple's home. One day, the elf woman finds her skin and runs away, never to be seen again.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Good for her.
How come none of these men are being like held accountable? Like, why are we not grabbing our Selkie skin and then
beating the crap out of them
into the water and then just pulling them into their doom? Maybe I have problems.
I believe that's therapy that you're looking for, Meg.
Probably.
I mean, I feel like my solution is very doable.
I believe so. Yes.
Anyways, another Icelandic tale is a man passes by the sea and hears sounds coming out of a cave. He finds a pile of discarded sealskins nearby and fetches one of them. Guys, that's called stealing. Don't do that.
That's theft.
Later that same day, he returns to the cave and finds a weeping young woman who was the owner of the sealskin that he took home. The man brings the woman to his home. They marry and have children because she has no other choice.
Right.
One day, while the man is away fishing, the woman finds her sealskin, says goodbye to her human family, and departs to the sea.
Good for her.
Yep. A more distant echo of Selkie-type stories may be found in the medieval story of the demonic woman Selkola, whose name means seal head. Like, that's rude.
That's mean. Don't make fun of her.
Right. And Faroese legends, there's a famous Selkie story from the Faroe Islands, and it's called the Legend of Copaconan.
Copacabana.
Which literally means seal woman.
Hmm.
This story tells of a young farmer from a village who, after learning about the local legend that seals could come ashore and shed their skins once a year on the 13th night, he goes to see for himself because of curiosity.
Killed the cat.
While laying in wait, he watches as many seals swim to shore, shedding their skin to reveal their human forms. The farmer takes the skin of a young Selkie woman who, unable to return to the water without her skin, is forced to follow him back to his farm and become his wife. Still kidnapping, guys.
This is so repetitive.
So
like, I love that the story is so like, we know like this is what's gonna happen because this is the way the story goes. Like, love that for us. Love that it follows like the same pattern every single time. But still, stop kidnapping humans with their own skin.
This one changes a little bit.
Oh,
so she goes back to the farm, is forced to be his wife. They stay together for many years, even producing several children. The man locks the skin in a chest, keeping the key to the lock on his person at all times, so his wife may never gain access. However, one day, the man forgets his key at home and comes back to his farm to find that his Selkie wife has taken her skin and returned to the sea. Later, when the farmer is out on a hunt, he kills the Selkie woman's Selkie husband and 2 Selkie sons. Enraged, the woman promises vengeance for her lost kin. She exclaims that some may be drowned and some may fall from cliffs and slopes, and this shall continue until so many men have been lost that they will be able to link arms around the whole island of Kalsoy. Deaths that occur on the island are thought to be due to the Selkie woman's curse.
This is the vengeance I was seeking. I appreciate it.
I do
You're
too.
welcome.
10 out of 10. Recommend.
So, Peter Kagan and the Wind by Gordon Bok. B-O-K. I was like, I'm looking forward to saying his last name.
Bok?
tells of the fisherman Peter, who married a seal woman. Against his wife's wishes, he set sail dangerously late in the year and was trapped battling a terrible storm, unable to return home. His wife shifted to her seal form and saved him, even though this meant she could never return to her human body and hence her happy home. Aww. But also, the first part of it kind of sounds like a Greek tragedy,
it very much does.
Yeah.
What's it called? Shit.
That's not the one.
No, not that one.
Not that one. I think that's later.
I don't remember. Anyways, so in Irish folklore, the mermaid in Irish folklore has been regarded as a seal woman in some instances. In a certain collection of lore in Count Carey, there is a omnomastic tale in Tralee that claimed the Lee family was descended from a man who took a mermaid for a wife. She later escaped and joined her seal husband, suggesting she was of the seal folk kind. There is also the tradition that the Connelly clan of Connemara was descended from seals, and it was taboo for them to kill the animals lest it bring ill luck. And since Connelly became a moniker of the animal, many changed their surname to Connolly.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Anyways, back to the Selkie children.
Oh, great.
In many versions of the Selkie myth, the children produced by the coupling of a Selkie and a human are born with certain physical characteristics that set them apart from normal children, like red tans.
Yes.
In David Thompson's book, The People of the Sea, which chronicles the extensive legends surrounding the grey seal within the folklore of rural Scottish and Irish communities, it is the children of male Selkies and human women that have webbed toes and fingers. When the webbing is cut, a rough and rigid growth takes its place.
So like a
Wolverine fish. Wolverine fish. Wolverine fish.
A tale of a woman who gives birth to a son with a seal's face after falling in love with a Selkie man. A dream later reveals the location of silver for the woman to find after giving birth to her son.
A face only a mother could love.
They have inspired many works of art, literature, music, and film. Selkies or references to them have appeared in numerous novels, songs, films, though the extent to which these reflect traditional stories varies greatly because there's many different stories of them.
Right.
Work with Selkie lore forms the central theme includes A Stranger Came Ashore, a 1975 young adult novel by Scottish author Molly Hunter. It was set in the Shetland Islands in the north of Scotland, and the plot revolves around a boy who must protect his sister from the Great Selkie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Got a little twist on it.
Right? Then there's The Secret of Roan Inish, a 1994 American-Irish independent film based on the novel Secret of the Ron More Scary by Rosalie K. Fry. The film's story follows a young Irish girl who uncovers the mystery of her family's Selkie ancestry and its connection to her lost brother.
Huh.
Then there's Selkie, a 2000 Australian made-for-TV film, sorry.
Okay.
Oh no, Emma.
Undine, a 2009 Irish film in which a woman caught in a fishing net is believed to be a Selkie. And then Song of the Sea, a 2014 Irish animated film about a young boy who discovers his mute sister is a Selkie, who must find her voice and free the fairy creatures from the Celtic goddess Macha.
Ooh.
There's a lot happening there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of responsibility for one small girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And give me 1 second.
One.
Rude. Mm-hmm. That's not what I want to do.
We all the nights who say nee.
It's not letting me do what I want to do. Please hold.
Oh, sorry, copyright. R.I.P. Alex Trebek. Doug Funny.
Yes.
Banging on a trash can.
Anyway, so the picture that I just sent is a 2007 Fairies stamp of a Selkie.
Okay, stamps.
Stamps.
It's actually very cool. I like that one.
Anyways, but that is Selkies.
So they're kind of like mermaids, as it were, right?
Yeah, basically, but they can.
They're mer seals.
Basically, they're the seal people.
Seal maids.
They steal people.
Well, they don't steal people. People steal them.
Semantics.
This is true. So in a previous episode, we had things stealing people, and now we have people stealing Selkies.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it. See, I'm paying attention. I'm picking up what we're swimming around.
Picking up what's going around.
So, I mean, they're more commonly, associated with like mermaids, right?
Yeah, basically.
So, like, that episode of Charmed, she's a Selkie.
I did not see that episode, so I don't know.
I want to say that's the only episode I saw, and I'm going to say yes.
Because that sounds like it. I don't want to look at the picture, though. But I do. That's terrifying. Thanks.
I mean, they don't all look like that.
The arms are a little disproportionate.
Right. And then there's also...
Oh, that's pretty, though.
Yeah, there's that.
I don't really like how cozy she is with the seals. But, I mean, the photos is beautiful anyway.
Yeah, so like...
Right.
Look, they're not doubling up and adding clothing where clothing is not necessary. You have your seal pelt and you have your human skin. You don't need a seal pelt with a t-shirt.
Right. So like, it's a pretty nifty thing.
I think in a previous episode, I said I didn't know what I wanted to be as a shape-shifting something. I figured it out. I would like to be a Selkie, please.
You want to be a Selkie?
Right.
I choose Selkie because I don't want to be a werewolf. I already hate hair. Like, no. So I don't want to be a werewolf. I don't want to be a vampire because, like, teeth, not my thing.
So
I don't want to be a gene because, or
and just
what we call genes.
Swimming around and just kind of floating and everything. Seems really kind of cool.
I would look great and wet and mad. Look at that. That photo is terrifying. I could pull that off.
So in the original story of Peter Pan, the mermaids were wrote as Selkies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I mean,
which is why they tried to get Wendy to join them.
Right.
Yep. I'm in. I choose Selkie. If I have to choose something, put me in the water, boss.
Well, and so Meg, like most of the seal forms are spotted seals. So like they have like they're the gray seals with like the little bit darker or like black spots on them, and I'm like, they're adorable. Yes,
those
please.
are the cute ones. Yes, I'm into that. Kat, what were you gonna say?
Oh, so
like she doesn't remember.
Yeah. So Rachel lives in Florida, right?
Unfortunately.
Do you know what else is in Florida?
Alligators.
The WickieWatchies.
Bless you? The Whoosy-Whatsies?
No, the WickieWatchies. Hold on. Now I gotta actually
the WickieWatchies mermaids.
Yes.
So it's a spring.
Are you repping now?
No.
So the WickieWatchie is a spring, and they have men and women there that go through training to be able to perform as mermaids, be able to hold their breath underwater for a certain period of time, and be able to perform basically as mermaids.
So the first one I sent you is
so now I have to move. The only reason I'd ever move to Florida is this now.
Yes.
All right, fine. Kids, we're moving to Florida.
They're like, okay.
He just looked at me like, what?
So
he can't hear anything that's going on, so he has no idea that I've just signed up to become a mermaid for the rest of my life.
The WickieWatchies were like the first mermaid bar, and then another one was picked up in Vegas, and I think like the 60s or 70s. And that they rechanged it, so it's under a new name. My cousin worked there before she passed away, and it was it was called King Triton's. So I think it's under like Atlantis or something now. But I mean, there's one in Vegas or Reno, and then there's one in Florida. There's one in Austin or San Antonio. There's one in San Francisco called Dive Bar. There's one in South Los Angeles, not that far away from Disneyland, and there's one in New York.
Nice. There's a place, so when I was younger, we used to go to Myrtle Beach for vacation, like our family vacation, and there was one restaurant that has like an all-you-can-eat buffet or whatever, and they used to have just like a little pool, and they had a mermaid that was in the pool, and she would like twist up a necklace, and she would give you a necklace from the pool when we would go have dinner. And so we went and had dinner there several times because we always got to go see the mermaids.
I love that.
So, the mermaids are trained to include eating and drinking underwater. And they've been doing these things for the last 6 decades.
I mean, that's a weird way for me to die, but like, I'll give it a try. Because you know, I'm gonna like mess it up and breathe out of my mouth when I'm supposed to be eating. I don't know, whatever. But that's very cool.
They
So
have,
like they have to go through extensive training.
scuba
to do
training and
these
everything.
things.
Yeah, there's breathing apparatus underwater that they use, but they go through...
Sometimes, but they have to so they have to go through rigorous like breathing training to be able to hold their breath long enough to be able to do these things, and it's intense.
I mean, I'm already scuba certified, so I've got some semblance of like an idea of what you do underwater. But I could, you know what? Retirement. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna be the oldest mermaid at WickieWatchies.
Yes, WickieWatchies.
The geriatric. I'm going to be the mermaid grandmother,
and you'll be able to see manatees too.
Yes,
I don't know if they're, but
you can.
But you can also like kayak and paddleboard.
Well, that's awesome.
You are not allowed to pet sea cows.
Your children could receive letters from the mermaids.
Yes,
because
my
they
daughter would love that. She would love that.
So, if they handwrite a letter to one of the mermaids or princes asking about the environment they swim in or anything else mermaid related, the mermaids will write back as long as they are under the age of 17. Because after that, it gets a little sketchy.
Right.
Okay, so I'm writing the letter and I'm signing it for my daughter. I'm kidding.
So they will receive
a letter.
They will receive an autographed picture of their favorite mermaid. The mermaids will read each letter, and their videoed response will be posted on their Facebook and Twitter page.
That is so stinking cool.
This is adorable. I've loved this episode and learned so much.
You're welcome.
It's a lot better than G.
It is called Tail Mail, sponsored by the Friends of WickieWatchies Spring State Park.
Tail mail.
Tail mail.
The more you know.
When I wag my tail, what's that thing? Mail
from Blue's Clues?
Yes.
When it comes, I want a whale mail.
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, so that is Selkies and Mermaids.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I can say it that I enjoyed it, and I don't have to say thanks. I hate it because I don't hate it. It's like the first time I've ever been on this and not been able to say that.
One of the few times that you've actually enjoyed this staying on.
The thing is, I always enjoy my time with you all, but the subject matter is questionable.
That is very valid.
But I understand that that's also our point here, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Very true.
Yeah.
Anyways,
stay feral or Selkie. Stay Selkie.
Stay Selkie.
Stay Selkie.
We'll see you guys next time.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Next time on the Pandemonium Witches. Are we calling him the Baconator for this whole episode?
Oh god, that was a lot of words. You came straight out with the cannibalism, like right a fucking way.
The Baconator is a spirit resembling a zombie.
Lovely. I'm still stuck on how you summon a Baconator. Like, is it with a frosty? Like, what are we? Who's summoning Baconators around here?
I mean, you can just use DoorDash, but
right, much easier. And if you're not that hungry, you can get a junior Baconator, and we will get into all of it, I promise. So. You're gonna come with me on a journey.
Pants down and swords up, man.
So according to Chris, this being had blazing red eyes, green scaly skin, long black claws on its 3 fingers, and stood a staggering 7 feet tall.